Everybody, we are going to be watching Arch's reaction to NickEH30. I know I've done a bunch of shorts on this, but I just wanted to come out and support this fellow content creator. Officially come out and support this content creator, as honestly, the way Nick responded, I was very unsure. And yeah, I know I have made shorts about this and they've done pretty well. I still want to come out and support Arcch officially.
And I'll give props where props are due. It's very professional, but there are some things that I'd like to clear up. I know I've said multiple times that this is my last response, but I feel like I have to make this video to clear my name, and I have some issues I want to address with his video.
This one individual has made 2 videos already.
Firstly, I'd like to address Nick saying I've made 2 videos already, as if I was milking the situation. Some of you coming from Nick's video may not know he has already addressed this situation on stream in a 16-minute rant.
Yep.
But we will get to that part
I
later.
mentioned
He
that
also doesn't address the video where I called him a liar, but says it at the start.
Enters my name and calls me a scammer and liar.
Secondly, I do agree with Nick that the title and thumbnail of that video could have been better and do come off as a bit exaggerated. I will take accountability for that, and I have multiple times. I do think it's unfair to say he scams his viewers, and that's why I changed the title. Because when it comes to me, I feel that I was scammed. Yes, it might not be the exact textbook definition of a scam, but he told me he would do it if I told him what challenge.
So if you have a challenge, you let me know. I will gladly say it so you can use it for your video.
That's crazy.
He then may have missed the second donation, as he says in his video, but he saw the third where I gave him 2 challenges that he said he would say. So to put this into perspective, if someone on the street is playing an instrument and you give them some money asking them to play a certain song, they do not have to play that song for you. But when they agree to do it, if you give them more money telling them what song to play, then they should do it. Otherwise, you would say they scammed you. Just because it's not some crazy crypto scam doesn't mean it's not disingenuous from Nick. I also did not make these videos with a false narrative, nor did I do it for views or money. This especially goes for the second video where I could have waited for monetization and made loads of money on it. But I just wanted to get my voice out there and say this was never about the money.
At no point whatsoever did Arcch reach out via Twitter, email, any social media platform, or through another donation saying that he would like a refund, because everyone knows I would refund that donation within a heartbeat. I know it's not about the money. Otherwise, you would have asked for a refund, you take down the videos, but I know you're not going to. And I'm not one to censor anything.
Now, in all honesty, if I knew this, I would have gotten a refund and taken down the video. But I had no idea this was possible. I only assumed it would be possible for people who maybe donate $500 instead of $50, or kids who have stolen their mum's credit cards. I also don't think Nick originally thought this himself either, as in his 16-minute rant, he never talks about it once. It just feels like he's trying to twist the narrative that he's this nice guy that would have refunded straight away, but he never stated that once until now. And the video was about the money. $15 is a lot to some people. It's a good chunk of change. In the UK, you can get 2 kebabs for that. If I got refunded, I would have just deleted the video and moved on. I also feel like if you ban someone from donating, you should refund them, especially when you didn't do what you said you would do. This just feels like more of a PR stunt rather than his actual opinion.
I gotta focus on the positive. I want to spread good vibes. I don't want to focus on the negative 24/7. Yeah, there are moments where I might not be 100% positive, but I try my absolute best. And I've learned throughout the years, the more you're positive, the more that flourishes your positive community. And the moment you start addressing hate and negativity, which I have to do now, which I absolutely despise, that's when there's even more negativity and more hate and more drama.
Now, at this point, he starts talking about positivity, and it's a good message to give to his audience. But it's hard to believe after his 16-minute rant where he called me a douchebag, a scumbag, and lied to his viewers about how much money I would have made off that video.
Just know, in that video, he probably made, let's say, $5,000. And he's going on about donating $2, and then $4, and then $2. And I appreciate that. Don't get it twisted. Go make another video and try to get another $5,000, $10,000, and go on about this $2 donation and this $3 like, oh my god. The guy's attitude is like, what a D-bag, bro.
That's like crazy.
What a scumbag, bro. He's just
like, I know,
making it seem like I scam my viewers because, of course I'm gonna block him because he's a douchebag. But like what an idiot.
It seems like he is trying to brush off that stream and pretend it didn't happen. He even went out of his way to delete the VOD. At the end of the day, you said you would do it and you didn't live up to your promise. If you didn't want to do it, you should have just stated that in the moment rather than telling me to tell you what challenge I want you to say.
Like, I'm out of ideas, bro. And I could sound like a broken record and say one chest challenge, one chest challenge, one chest challenge. But like at the end of the day, How many videos are people going to watch where NickEH30 gives me a challenge and it's the one chest challenge? Like, how boring would that be? So I try to be a little more reserved so people can't just use my name and say NickEH30 gave me a challenge and it's the same thing over and over again. When you see a NickEH30 video, I want it to be special. I want it to be unique. And that's the same way I treat my content on my channel. So my overall mindset on this kind of stuff, it never changes. Like, you got to put in the work. You got to.
I do understand what you're saying here, but the fact is you said you would do it, leading to me donating more. Also, I don't have a problem with creators reusing content ideas, but you seem to, despite the fact you copy the same format every other big content creator does. For example, on your channel one day, you posted 5 videos and 4 out of 5 of them were you going undercover. You reuse the same ideas all the time. So I do not agree with this point. I think you're just struggling to take accountability and say you messed up. Even if you didn't like the idea I gave you, you could have said that rather than telling me you would say it.
So if you have a challenge, you let me know. I will gladly say it so you can use it for your video if that's what you'd like. I want to show you guys the stats of the stream real quick because I think a lot of people often forget when I'm streaming, I have to be focusing on the game, the chat, the donations, the alerts, the subs, every single thing on all 4 platforms that I'm streaming on. So let me show you guys the stats. This is my main YouTube channel. I had 5,000 average viewers, 14,000 chat messages. On YouTube Shorts, there was an average of 1,700 people watching at one given time. And the same goes for Twitch. And on TikTok, let's say around 3,000 average concurrent viewers. My point being, whether it's a chat message or donation, I might miss it sometimes. People know this, and at the end of the stream, typically I go through my full list and get caught up on it.
Here, he actually just proves me right. This was a quiet stream for Nick. He usually gets around 16,000 viewers a stream on YouTube alone. Whereas on this stream, he was averaging 5,000. So for him, this was a lot more quiet than normal. You also had 14,000 chat messages in the span of 5.5 hours. That's a lot, but on a stream, it's really not that crazy of an amount. Here's how fast your chat was actually moving. For example, here's a 3.5 hour stream I did where I was averaging 100 viewers and I got 10,000 chat messages. I would say I managed to read most of them. I'm not saying Nick has to read all of his chat messages or read any of them at all, but the point I'm trying to make is that this was an extremely quiet, chilled out stream compared to his normal streams. Also, I donated all of my messages. None of them were put in the chat. Future Arcch here again. Nick also throws up these big numbers to manipulate the audience into thinking he has a lot going on and a lot to read, but that's just not the case. I did a little bit of research, and no matter where you find Nick's streams, they're all on members only mode. You may think the chat will still move fast, but that's just completely wrong. Here's a YouTube short stream I looked at, and in the span of an hour there was no chat messages and 4 donations. One of these donations being this. Now this message did not get removed for at least an hour as far as I know. I just want to point out this stream was only 2 hours long, but not only does this prove his chat doesn't move or barely moves whatsoever on shorts, it shows there is little to no moderation, therefore exposing his younger audience to hateful language. Now I know it's not his fault that someone typed this and sent it, but he so easily removed donations from people just kindly asking about the situation, but this managed to stay in the chat for an hour or more. Also, I took a look at TikTok where Nick has member only streams. The chat yet again barely moves or doesn't move at all, and one thing I noticed is that people donate on TikTok and he just doesn't read out whatsoever. And I know you can send like 1p things on TikTok, but some people were sending like 200 roses, which is like $2. There were people donating on TikTok and he just either didn't see it or just ignored it. The same goes for YouTube Shorts where he got multiple donations from fans. I went back to the moment on the stream where these 5 people from YouTube and TikTok donated, and I watched the whole stream from that moment forward. And it took him almost an hour to thank some of the YouTube Shorts donations, and he just didn't thank the TikTok people whatsoever. This guy even says, "Can you greet me?" So not only do these chats move incredibly slow, they're not moderated or barely moderated, and he just doesn't read the donations or gifts or barely reads them, or takes incredibly long to read them. And this would get to a point where they've clicked off the stream because they've waited almost an hour just for Nick to read their donation, or even just thank them. I also looked at Nick's Twitch where the chat also moves incredibly slow compared to how he was making it out to be in his video. His YouTube chat moves even slower than his Twitch chat, so this whole doing 4 things at once argument really crumbles when you're not even doing what you say you are doing. I do think missing a donation every once in a while is understandable, but missing multiple in a row on the same platform, it's just ignorant, and it shows he doesn't actually really care about his viewers on those platforms. He's just streaming on them for the sake of it, for the viewership. Why even stream on YouTube Shorts or TikTok if you're not going to bother to read the gifts or donations? And why make such a big deal in your video about doing 4 things at once when you clearly only focus on a YouTube and Twitch stream? This is more blatant manipulation to his audience, showing a big number to show how much he has to deal with, when in reality it looks like this.
If they don't move like that, then
video itself,
yeah,
they're not what he actually said when he donated. I logged onto my Streamlabs and I'm able to see the exact donation messages. His second donation was, bro, it can be any challenge, just anything off the top of your head, even if it's been done before. Thanks. I mentioned some in the last dono, like one chest or shotgun only, lol. Appreciate your content, man. Not trying to spam, just sending you money, LeMayo. Brother, you asked me to tell you what I would like you to say, and then you don't read the message.
Okay, so this is the big thing a lot of people are critiquing me for, and I do want to clear it up. After sending those donations, I could not find them anywhere, not on Nick's stream, not on Streamlabs, so I had to try and remember what I said as accurately as possible, and I feel like I did a good job. Also, the donations he shows on screen are polite. He just reads them in a really negative way. If you read them in any other voice, they sound fine. And you've got to remember, he's only read 2 of my donations at this point. He wouldn't see them in any negative light whatsoever. At this point, he thinks there is no ill will between me and him. In both the donos, I say thanks and that I appreciate his content. In the third donation, I will admit I did come off as a little bit agitated, but I think a lot of people would, after having to donate more and more just to get him to say something he said he would say originally. I do apologize though if I came off as disingenuous to anyone. I should have mentioned it in the original video. I do actually mention it in my second video, but I don't think that does it enough. But on the other hand, the first 3 donations were still polite and make sense with the video I made. Everything still lines up with the video. In my first donation, I politely asked him for a challenge, and he said I would do it if I told him what challenge. He said he missed my second donation, but then he would have seen the third one where I did state 2 challenges. So his reaction still came off as ungrateful and unjustified. The messages being slightly different to the original don't change this. I also want to mention I still cannot access these donations, but I find it weird how in my second donation I don't mention a challenge, but in my third donation I say I mentioned a challenge in the last donation. I don't know if this has been modified in any way, but I have contacted Streamlabs to get the donation history. Future Arcch here, and Streamlabs have responded. They've given me a link that I haven't been able to access since the first video was published, and what a surprise, NickEH30 twisted this interaction and left out some major details. He did this to make it seem like I was being passive aggressive and rude to him. In his video you can see he edits together these donations to make them look like they are in chronological order, but some people have clocked on and realized that my third donation made no sense. As I say, I mentioned 2 challenges in the last donation, but on his screen there isn't any challenges in the last donation. Well, that's because in between these 2 donations there is another 2 donations that he has completely cut out. I will show you them in a second, but it's becoming pretty obvious that he has removed certain things like these donations, avoided certain topics like his first response, and read things in a certain way to portray me as a disingenuous person. So here are the real donations. Firstly, I donated to Nick saying, "Yo Nick, big fan, could you give me a Fortnite challenge for a video? Also, happy Christmas, brother." He reads this out and says this.
Arcch with the 4. Nick, big fan, could you give me a Fortnite challenge for a video? Always happy Christmas, brother. Thank you, bro. If you have an idea, I would more than likely be happy to say it. I don't have any ideas off the top of my head. If I had ideas, I'd be recording it, you know? So if you have a challenge,
just asking for a challenge.
I'll gladly say it so you can use it.
He's just asking for like a regular challenge.
Secondly, I thought he misunderstood me and thought I was asking for a new idea because of the fact he said this.
If you have an idea, I would more than likely be happy to say it.
If you have an idea.
I don't have any ideas off the top of my head.
My thought process is that he is a massive Fortnite YouTuber who has lived and breathed Fortnite for the last 7 years. So coming up with an already done overused challenge would be no issue. I wasn't trying to get a new idea out of him and he knows that. So I donated in response. Bro, it can be any challenge, just anything off the top of your head, even if it's been done before, thanks. The way Nick reads this donation in his video makes it seem like I was being passive aggressive.
Bro, it can be any challenge, just anything off the top of your head, even if it's been done before.
Anything off the top of your head.
In reality, even if it's been done before. First donation and his response, it makes sense. Nick in fact did ignore this donation. I'll get onto proof of that soon. I waited a while and got no response to this donation, so I donated again. I wasn't spamming or being annoying. At this point I had just spent some money and he told me he would do it. I simply assumed that he just missed the donation. This upcoming donation he actually cut out of his video. I said, "I donated twice now asking if you could give me a challenge for a video. Not sure if you've seen them or not, can get a bit hectic. It can be any challenge even if it's been done before." Now Nick goes on to ignore this donation as well. The proof is coming up soon, don't worry. This message clearly shows me being polite and understanding how he can miss things when streaming. So after this I waited around a long while. I wasn't just spamming. I was giving him time to read out other people's donations and memberships. When he didn't read it, I assumed he might have just missed it again, so I donated again. Now this donation was also cut out of Nick's video. It says, "Hey man, you replied to my first donor, but I don't think you saw the second. You never gave a challenge. Could you just say one for me to do? It could be anything like the 1 chest or shotgun only. Thanks, bro." Nick then responded to this donation with this unwarranted lecture.
Arcch with the 2, hey man, you replied to my first donor, but I don't think you saw the second. You never gave a challenge. I did, bro. I did. I answered it in full.
Chat, what challenge?
Ryder, thank you for the gifted. Arcch, listen, if you have a challenge that you would like me to give you, you give it to me. I don't have any challenge ideas, bro. You're the content creator. You come up with the idea. I'll say it if that's what you want. If you want to include me in the video, please stop spamming, okay?
I'm not spamming, chat. I swear.
It's not my responsibility to come up with video ideas for you, bro. Listen, like, if I had the idea, I'd be doing it myself. I said that already 3 times.
You replied to my first donut, but I don't think you saw the second.
If you can't pay attention to the stream, like, that's on you, bro. I literally responded to your message way too many times.
Thanks, bro.
Now, you may also realise in this clip, he mentions 3 donations.
I said that already 3 times.
Showcasing that he did see the other 2, but he didn't want to respond to them. The way I see it is he told me he will give me a challenge, but not come up with a new idea. So I informed him it can be any challenge that's been done before, and I even gave him 2 examples in the 4th donation. Keep in mind, he's only read my 1st donation and my 4th donation with the examples, and this is how he reacted. What I think happened is he ignored my donations on purpose as he decided he didn't want to do it, and rather than telling me, he let me keep donating. You may also notice here, he says I'm spamming.
Please stop spamming, okay?
Which will make sense in the next donation, which he did not give context to in his video. After his response, I assumed I could still get a challenge despite his rude tone, as he doubled down on the fact he would do it.
Listen, if you have a challenge that you would like me to give you, you give it to me.
Therefore, I donated another $2 saying, I mentioned some in the last dono like 1 chest or shotgun only lol. I want to mention I said lol as I just assumed he missed the last part of my donation. And I felt his reaction was unwarranted as he was complaining about me not giving him a challenge, but I had given him a challenge. And he clearly thought I wanted to get some sort of idea out of him, but if he actually saw my donations and read them properly, he'd know that it could be any old challenge that's been done before. Not trying to spam, just sending you money, laugh my ass off. Now, the not trying to spam thing makes sense as he said I was spamming. And all my donations make sense to what he was saying on stream. Also, he makes these donations sound so rude in his video, but if you read them in a normal way like he would have been.
I mentioned some in the last dono, like 1 chest or shotgun only, lol. Appreciate your content, man. Not trying to spam, just sending you money, LeMayo.
They are not bad whatsoever. They're nothing but polite. Nick then replied to this donation with a simple Arcch thank you.
Holy crap, bro. Arcch, I mentioned some in the last
Now, obviously,
donut,
this
like
response was going to frustrate me a little bit after his massive lecture about me giving him a challenge, and then I gave him one, and he just flat out ignores it. So that's why in the next donation, you can sense a bit of frustration. But I will say, it's not as bad as he made it out to be. I donated again saying, brother, you asked me to tell you what I would like to say, and then you don't read the message. This was just me being confused at him purposely flat out ignoring my donation, after him saying he would do it. Also, if you look back at my other donations, I don't use brother or bro as a negative thing. And I get how that could come across as a little passive-aggressive, but it's just part of my vocab. And Nick knew that from my previous really polite donation. He makes these donations seem awful in his video, but now you have the context, are they really that bad? I hope you can see how this interaction was clearly one-sided now, and how Nick's responses to my donations was rude and ungrateful. I also want to mention, from the moment I first donated to my last donation on Nick's stream, so over the course of around an hour, he only received 8 membership/Twitch subscriptions and 3 other donations. This is not including my donations. It's very hard to believe he was missing them by accident. At first, it's easy to think that, but the more you research, he was ignoring the donations. I don't know if this was because it was a quiet stream, or if he was just trying to annoy me for some reason, but it's pretty obvious when you put it in black and white. I also should have spent more time on my first video on this. I should have done the research to see if this is a reoccurring thing, or if I just got unlucky before I made the title and thumbnail. I simply rushed the video in less than a day after it happened, leading to everything in that video not being 100% accurate. For this video, I've made sure everything I've said is true and I have the evidence to back it up. But I think it's funny how Nick purposely left out these things because he's trying to push this narrative that I was being awfully rude in these donations.
If I wanted more money from you, I would keep you unbanned.
I completely understand that, but the point I was making is that you told me you would do it, leading to me donating more and more. Then you didn't do it and banned me. It just came off as unjustified and left me feeling scammed. Like, you told me you would do something if I told you what challenge to give me. The only way for me to do that was through donations. I donated, you didn't see it, so I donated again, and you didn't read it properly, and then I donated again and you ignored it, and then you banned me from donating. Can you not see how that would leave someone feeling scammed?
You can be a sub to join, so one is paid, one is unpaid. At one point I did make it so everyone could join the customs, whether you're a sub or not, whether you have the trusted role or not, but as you guys know, and you guys have seen clips, people grief my customs, and it's just impossible to get anything done, so obviously we have to limit it.
I shouldn't have mentioned the customs, and I apologize for that. I think it's cool that Nick gives his viewers the trusted role, even if they've got no money to play. Although the clip I was showing did show his chat just simply messing up the roleplay.
Bro, you think you're the king? I'm the king. Yeah,
they didn't mean to mess up. They just accidentally did.
Wait, guys, holy, you're getting banned. That's it, okay?
No one was trying to troll him in this clip. You can see they all started shooting as they misunderstood him. Therefore, his reaction to ban them was just unjustified. I don't know if he did actually ban them, but the reaction was just still really strange.
Felt that I was trying to get more and more donations. Why did you keep on donating? Why not just stop it right there, move on to another streamer, ask for a refund, and then be done with it?
I did not feel that way until you banned me from donating. After you banned me, it felt like you had let it get to a certain extent and then censored me. I would also like to say, I know Nick doesn't need my $15, but it doesn't change the fact what he did was still scummy. If it was $100 or $1,000, you would all think it's a scam, but because it's 15, it's insignificant.
And as you see now, with 2 videos on your channel, you clearly were looking for drama, and you were looking to profit off my name. And if you think I'd be willing to risk my career and risk my name and brand over I'm just going to be generous here and say a $15 donation in total, I mean, come on, bro. Like, you don't gotta purposely mislead everybody just to get a video out there and build up your...
I was not looking for drama. If I could go back and not upload those videos, I would. Not because I disagree with what I said, but it was a lot of stuff to deal with. And I'm someone who personally just doesn't enjoy drama. I don't enjoy confrontation. I also wasn't looking to profit from them. As I've said, I've made no money from either videos. I also want to clear up, I was almost monetized on YouTube, regardless of these videos. I was on 3,500 out of 4,000 watch hours, and I had hit the sub amount, so I didn't do it for these reasons either. I was not misleading people. The first video was me reenacting what happened, and if you think it's bad, then maybe you should rethink how appreciative you are of your donations.
I haven't banned a single person who mentioned the drama. I've timed out people. I've removed donations. Funny enough, in my Discord in the mod channel, I specifically said I do not want to ban anyone. If anyone brings up the drama, just time them out for 24 hours and then we move on.
I do apologize for this. I had no idea it was not permanent, as I'm not a mod of your channel. Although I think removing people's donations who were simply asking in a polite manner about the situation is weird, as they're paying a super chat for their chat to be there in the chat and it's just getting deleted. I think you should have mentioned something at the start of the stream saying, I'm not going to be addressing anything, so don't donate about it or it will be deleted. But you just let these people donate and then just remove their messages. But you may have refunded them, I'm not sure. What I don't appreciate here though is that's the only clip you took from the second video I made. In reality, you had a 16-minute rant where you acted like a completely different person. You lied about a lot of things. One of the things being you told your viewers that I made 5 to 10 grand off that video. Now I do understand you might have thought I'm monetized, but if you did even a tiny bit of research, you'd realize I'm not. But even if I was monetized, 5 to 10 grand off a 6-minute video with 100,000 views is insane. It felt like you was just trying to gaslight your audience into thinking I'm money hungry.
I genuinely just wish there was a lot more positivity out there, and the clips that would get views would be the ones where I'm actually responding positively and giving people challenges. At
the end of the video, you talk about how much you wish people would show the good stuff you do and not the bad stuff. Yes, I agree. If you do something good, it's less likely to be pushed out than if you do something bad, which just sucks. But something I couldn't help notice that you say in this video is you wish the clips that get views would be the ones where you give people challenges. Well, maybe if you just gave me a challenge rather than sitting on your high horse, the video that got views could have been the one of you giving me the challenge rather than one of you being stubborn and ungrateful. I also want to point out, this video is clearly a PR stunt. He manipulated information and lied to clear his name. This goes for the viewership stats and the donations. He probably thought I couldn't access the donations due to me saying it in one of my videos, but now that I have them after contacting Streamlabs, it tells a completely different story to the one he was portraying. I also want to show a theory I have. Nick had already responded once, so why respond again and misinform people even more than you did the first time? Well, right after his video released, Streamlabs dropped a video where he is the poster boy for a new feature they have released in partnership with Nvidia. That's one of the richest companies in the world, by the way. It does seem a little suspicious, and it just seems like he didn't want to miss out on the potential brand deal there, but that is just a theory. The points Nick made are either manipulated information or things that just don't matter whatsoever. And I do get how people find his response convincing. The way he's formulated it and the way he's edited it does work really well for what he's trying to portray me as. Nick's main points were, the video was blatant lies. The thumbnail and title were not the best, and I admit that. But after seeing how many people have had experiences like this with Nick, it's starting to become more reasonable. Everything in the videos I made were not lies. He talks about the refund. I never even said I reached out for a refund, and in the 16-minute rant, Nick didn't mention a refund once. He has clearly only mentioned this for PR purposes, as he knows it will make me look bad that I didn't go and look for a refund, but I didn't know you could in the first place. And I don't even think this crossed his mind before producing this video. Number 3, he talks about negativity. This point was just made to brush off the 16-minute rant he had. It was out of line for a family-friendly YouTuber to react that way, and he clearly doesn't want people to know about it. Number 4, you say you're out of ideas. He told me he would give me a challenge, and I explained to him it doesn't matter if it's even been done before. He knows this as he saw the donations and he's seen both of my videos. It doesn't matter if he thinks it's repetitive content, as he said he would do it. And that's a harsh point for someone to make when they regurgitate the same content all the time. Number 5, you said the stream wasn't quiet. After looking at the stream, Nick got barely any donations and memberships. There were also little to no chat messages. You showed big numbers to make it seem active, but those are the viewer numbers, and your chats are all on members only. And the chance all of those thousands of people were members and they were all in the stream at the same time is extremely low, and I showed that in this video. Number 6, the donations. Nick purposely manipulated these donations to make me look bad. When context is applied, plus the other 2 donations you cut out, they're really not that bad whatsoever. Number 7, Nick talks about the customs. It's not really that important compared to the other content in the video. You're only using this to prove me wrong, so people think I lied throughout the whole video. You also did say you would ban them when they clearly weren't griefing. At number 8, Nick asked me why I kept on donating. This is because he incentivized me to keep donating. He did this by telling me he would give me a challenge, not once, but twice. Number 9, he made a point that he didn't ban the viewers, he just timed them out for a day. This is my mistake. I didn't know he actually didn't ban them. I didn't know they were timed out. But you quickly go to brush off the fact that you were removing people's donations who were just asking kindly about the situation, as if it wasn't important. Lastly, I want to say this wasn't for the money, views, or clout. I'm glad this has come to an end, and this will actually be the last thing I say on it, unless Nick responds again, but I doubt that. Also, to the people saying it's disingenuous that I got monetized after saying I don't care about the money, just because I didn't make money off those videos and I don't really care about the money that comes from YouTube doesn't mean it wouldn't be nice to make a few bucks off of the future videos I'm going to be producing. And yes, this video will be monetized, as was Nick's response. I have things to pay for, such as car insurance, and the boost this video will give me will be going towards the good things in my life. I've suffocated myself in this situation for the last 2 weeks, and the last few days or week I've really stopped caring about it. I've been going to the gym, I've been swimming, and I've been eating very healthy, and life has never felt better. I'm going to be taking a break from YouTube after this video drops, and when I return I want to do some sort of charity stream. The stream will most likely be for cancer research, as I want to turn this into something good, and cancer is something that has affected my family and millions of other families around the world. With this many eyes on me, it would feel wrong not to do something like that. I'm not doing it to try and dismiss the clout chase allegations or anything like that. It's something I've planned on doing for a while, and it's something I would have done regardless of this situation if I had this amount of eyes on me. So keep an eye out if you want to come and support that. I'll see you later. Either way,
like, that's actually crazy. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to go ahead and watch it over again, go to Arcch's channel. He's an amazing content creator. I'm much smaller than him. But thank you guys anyways for watching. I can't believe this is happening.